As we move into storm season, here's something most homeowners don't realize after a storm. Roof damage isn't always obvious. Wind can lift shingles, breaking the seal. Hail can bruise them below, and flashing around chimneys and pipes can loosen without you ever knowing. That damage may not show up for months. If your area has strong wind or hail, a professional inspection will help bring you clarity before small damage turns into bigger problems.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather This Morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather on your Thursday. I'm meteorologist Maggie McCauley. I hope you have your cup of coffee and you are ready to go out the door this morning. We have a whole lot to talk about when it comes to our weather in the next 24 to 48 hours. So buckle up and get ready. We're going to go through everything you need to know. Starting off with our Mississippi Live radar this morning, not tracking anything. Maybe a few showers all the way off to our west and portions of really north and eastern Arkansas, but nothing here in North Mississippi as of right now this morning. Something that is still happening, our current alerts, is a dense fog advisory. You can see it there in those counties that are in that darker gray color. We actually have seen a few counties drop from this morning, so that's some good news out there. That means those fog concerns not as prevalent through all of northern Mississippi, but still including portions of Webster, Clay County, Choctaw, Oktibbeha, Lowndes, Winston County, and all of our Alabama counties still out there this morning until about 9 a.m. So still dealing with some patchy, dense fog out there. Let me show you one of those places where this has been dropped. This is over in Batesville, over in Panola County. You can see good to go on those roadways this morning, not necessarily seeing that prevalent fog concerns like we did yesterday. That's not what I'm talking about by any means, but still some patchy fog out there nonetheless. Temperatures in the upper 50s over in Panola County. So definitely warm out there. If you're stepping out the door, I wouldn't expect a chilly start or a start where you necessarily need to go and start your car early at all. Let's look another look where we are dealing with some of that patchy fog still ongoing is over in Blue Springs. I've been keeping my eye on this camera. This is a look at 22 in all directions going on in Blue Springs, and you can still see that fog pretty prevalent, especially in this bottom right-hand corner. That camera, you can really see it as those cameras or those cars kind of fall off in the distance as they go down the roadway. So definitely still seeing some fog concerns out there this morning for some of us. Temperatures in the upper 50s, and you should know it well by now in comparison to yesterday. If you're dealing with that fog, same story in Itala County, make sure to keep your beams on low and take it slow out there. Again, this is over in Itala County, still seeing that fog concerns out there for Kosciuszko as well. Temperatures right now in the 50s across the board, middle to even upper 50s. So definitely not the morning you're going to want that thick coat with you. 59 in New Albany, 57 in Lafayette County, 57 in Water Valley, 55 in Eupora, 57 down in Starkville. So definitely a warm start to a warmer day ahead. Let's talk about your first 12 hours. We'll see temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60 through your 8 o'clock hour. 60s break out by 11. We'll be in the 70s this afternoon. So definitely warm, especially for January, right? Definitely warm in comparison to where we should be for this time of year. We'll continue to keep rain chances into your afternoon hours. We'll pick those up and continuing them through the evening, and temperatures eventually falling back through the 60s. Let's talk about your severe weather risk. Here's something that's been updated from 6:30 till now. The Storm Prediction Center throwing on a slight risk out there for your Thursday, not for anywhere close to us, but for folks over in Oklahoma, stretching into Missouri and Kansas. And I think the very northern tip of Arkansas included in that as well, the northwestern tip. But overall, we're looking at that level 2 out of 5, well off to our west today. Another thing that is different is this has been further expanded into North Mississippi, that level 1 out of 5 out there for your Thursday. So this was just the northwestern corner of the state. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you again, because this was updated in between the 6:30 and the 7. You can see a little bit further in. This is included a little bit further in to include places like Lee County, and then stretching all the way down into places like Winston and Oktibbeha County as well. So that has been pushed further in for today. Still, our main concern is this right here, though, going into Friday. Taking a look at this of what's changed between yesterday and today on our severe weather risk out there for Friday. Level 2 out of 5, still encompassing a good portion of the area, but I think they're continuing to push this a little bit further south. You can see it was just including like the northern section of Louisiana. Now it's going all the way down to Baton Rouge. And you can see here as well, if I zoom this in and show you, we're actually seeing some of our further northern counties, if they hug the Tennessee state line. So I'm talking Tunica, DeSoto, Tate County, stretching all the way to places like Alcorn and Tishomingo County out there for Friday. Those have been further clipped off because this has just moved a little bit further south. The overall threat has moved a little bit further south. So those have been clipped in that level 2 out of 5. Those are your overall severe weather risk, what's been updated. Now let's talk about where that system is that is going to be giving us some grief going into your Friday. Here's a look at satellite and radar. You can see that low pressure system off to the west causing some rainfall where that severe weather risk is today, from Kansas down into Oklahoma, portions of Texas as well, dealing with that. That's off to our west. It's really going to be staying off to our west today, but let me put that into motion to show you more day-by-day play of what this is going to look like. Going into your afternoon, yes, we could see a few showers try to creep in, but again, you can see the majority of activity sits off to our west this afternoon. We could see a few heavy downpours overnight. I think that's why that risk area has been further clipped into North Mississippi. Going into your Friday morning, also could see a few heavier downpours as well. So out the door for your Friday, back to work and school, go ahead and take the rain gear with you. You'll need it throughout the day, and some of us even needing it on that Friday morning commute, but especially going into the latter half of your day, afternoon and evening, especially going to be seeing that heaviest of rain going into North Mississippi. Here's the thing, we're going to be watching models putting the heaviest portion and the most strongest portion that we could see some more severe weather with the potential of a few brief spin-up tornadoes a little bit further to our south. You can see this is Friday at 8 p.m. Where is the heaviest of rain? Just to our south. I mean, just clipping our area, but mainly setting up from Jackson to Birmingham. So this is the area right here that we're going to be watching for the potential of the most primed atmosphere to see a few severe storms out there. And again, the possibility of a brief spin-up tornado out there for your Friday evening. Going overnight, this should be ending around midnight and into your Saturday morning, looking good to go. Yes, we could still see some light showers if you're an early riser on Saturday. But through the day, we actually could see some clearing by the time the evening hits. Coming up next, we're going to be taking this more hour by hour. That was a more day-by-day play to show you an overall look at that system and the progression of it. Coming up next, we'll look at more of our high resolution models of what you can expect, again, day or hour by hour instead of day to day here on Mississippi Live Weather. We'll also take a look at that rotation tracker. What is that looking like this morning? Where is that exactly setting up? All of those details coming up right after this.
Out with the old and in with the new. It's time to save big at Room to Room's New Year's sale. Store-wide markdowns 50 to 70% off. No tax. 48-month special financing. It's a new year at Room to Room Furniture in Tupelo. There's no place like home.
At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
Look at Wanda, ready to rock her big presentation. But first, lunch. Sweet Pepper's Deli. Delicious, celebratory, but is it quick? The Cobb salad. Tender oven roasted chicken, topped with cheese. Prepared, plated, and served in 6 minutes? Is this for real? Well, of course. Well done, Wanda. Sweet Pepper's Deli. Yes, ma'am. Life is sweet.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Maggye McCauley.
Hey, thanks as always for tuning in and sticking in with us here on Mississippi Live Weather. The time now is 7:13 out here on your Thursday morning. We're going to be getting into everything you need to know about the severe weather risk out there for Friday. So give me a few minutes and a few moments here. We're going to talk about Thursday first because we got to get through today before we get to tomorrow first. And that starts with out the door. We're still seeing some visibility concerns, especially down to the south this morning from Attala County down into places like Noxubee County, dealing with that as well. And then the further north that you go, we were dealing with some of that in portions of Lee County and also Monroe County. So some patchy fog out there, nothing like what we dealt with yesterday. So I don't want to say that unnecessarily, but still seeing some concerns out there for some of us out there this morning. Here's a live look over in the Delta at Greenwood, not necessarily looking at those concerns this morning. Some cloudy conditions, but overall no foggy conditions out there on that roadway. Temperatures in the 60s, though. It's definitely warm out there this morning, no matter where you are. 50s and 60s showing up. Middle 50s over in Caledonia. You can see a little bit more fog concerns there off in the distance. So some patchy fog still setting up out there this morning. Temperatures in the middle 50s. And you know the deal by now. If you're dealing with those patchy fog conditions, just take it slow. Keep your beams on low out there this morning. Airport delays, not tracking any. So that is some good news out there, right? From San Francisco, LAX, Dallas, Fort Worth, even Oklahoma and Dallas that are dealing with some of these stormy conditions, not dealing with any airport delays. And that's the story all the way further off to the east as well, from Orlando up into the LaGuardia Airport. No delays out there as of 7:14 this morning, or at least no moderate to major delays. Sitting here in North Mississippi, 60s are going to be the story over your next hour ahead. So again, no need for the thick coat today. Low 60s by 10, middle 60s by your 11 o'clock hour, high temperatures in the 70s. And I'm talking about very close to record out there today. So our record here in Lee County, 73. We're predicting a high of 72 today. So yeah, definitely near record warmth out there. Wouldn't be surprised if we kick it up a degree of what we're looking at and tie that record that's set back in 2006. Some of us in the middle 70s, 74 in Eupora, 76 in Natala County, 74 down in Louisville as well. So low to middle 70s, you can think about yesterday afternoon and add a few degrees to that. That's what you're going to be getting out there for your Thursday. Now let's take it hour by hour. Let's take this all the way through your Saturday morning. So I'm going to talk through today's storm chance. I'm going to talk through Friday's storm chance, and we'll go into your weekend as well. So stick here with me. Buckle up. It's going to be a long future cast. This goes today all the way through noon. I think we'll be dry through noon, so good to go. Just seeing some cloud cover in here. Into your afternoon, wouldn't be surprised to see a few light showers out there. Again, nothing too impactful though today. Going into your evening, we could see a few heavier downpours overnight. I think that's why that severe weather risk for Thursday has been a little bit extended into North Mississippi due to this right here. A few storms could try to be on the stronger side overnight. I'm thinking maybe just heavy rainfall and thunder that could wake you up for the most part. That even extends all the way to your Friday morning. So as you're headed out the door for work, go ahead and grab that rain gear. Could still be under some heavy downpours for Friday. Again, we're not overly concerned with these storms for your Friday morning. That doesn't mean they're going to be too fun to drive through, though, out there for the start of your Friday. Going into your afternoon, starting to see a little bit more rain become more widespread, but it's a little bit later when we're going to be watching some more stronger storms coming to the mix. 3 to 6, I think, is when things are really going to be building into the area. And take a look at this at 6 p.m. I encourage you to know where you're going to be tomorrow afternoon and evening, because this is when we're going to start to see some few stronger storms in the mix. Friday into your dinner time hours. I'm thinking starting around 4, building all the way through your 6 o'clock hour, starting to see some of these heavier downpours move in. I want to show you this, and if you tuned in at 6:30, this might be a little bit of repetitive for you, but I want to make sure I do get it out for the folks that maybe weren't here at 6:30. We've been taking a look at high resolution models. I watched, and I know you guys probably did, Matt and Gabe at 10, because I like to see what's the difference between what they're going to show in the evening. The model runs the evening to the morning shift. This is what we're looking at this morning with our high resolution models. Yesterday, this heaviest of rainfall that's just to our south, with some of those individual cells kind of popping up ahead of the main line, was right in our area, kind of in the middle and southern portion of our area. Today, models have that a little bit further south, but not too far south, but just south of us, making me more concerned with areas just to our south in terms of rotation. A few brief spin-up tornadoes, mainly down to our south in places like central Missouri and then pushing into central Alabama. If these model runs stay consistent over the next really 12 to 24 hours, that is the main area I'm going to be watching. That doesn't mean, though, that we couldn't see a few of those try to be clipped in our area, Golden Triangle region and south of that. So I think right here is the main place we're going to be watching here in North Mississippi going into your Friday for the potential of a few storms to try to rotate. I'm talking Golden Triangle region, Attala County, Louisville, Macon, Noxubee County, Aliceville, and south of that is the area in North Mississippi that's going to have the best chance of seeing a few storms try to rotate. And again, that's if those models do stay consistent. So I just encourage you to keep checking back in as we continue to bring you the latest updates, the latest model runs as this high resolution data continues to come in. And let's hope it stays consistent, because if it does, that does push that severe weather threat, or at least the greatest threat, down to our south. Going throughout your evening, still could see a few storms, a few heavier pockets of rain going behind, again, this main line, but that main line continuing to make its way into Alabama. I think midnight and on, this really starts to settle down, and we're just looking at some light to moderate rain out there for your Saturday morning by 8 a.m. And even that begins to dry out as we head into the back half of the day and then into your Sunday. Sunday looking like a much drier day, a clearer day, and a cooler day out there for the back half of your weekend. Here's a look overall at storm rotation. I did want to look at this real quick with you as well. This starts Friday at 7 a.m. I'm going to zoom this out so we can see more of the state, especially where that area is that we're going to be watching just to our south. As we go throughout the day, again, I'm looking for the rotation track, the shear marker. It's going to be a red color going into your afternoon. I'm kind of going to progress this through. Again, this is the area that's still highlighting that we're going to be watching. It's very close to North Mississippi. But again, this model still kind of highlighting areas just to our south from Forest, Philadelphia, all the way up into Tuscaloosa. But that clips very close to places like Noxubee County, again, south of the Golden Triangle region, into places like Winston and Noxubee County. Those are the areas we're going to be watching. And again, this shows storm rotation with those storms just clipping our area and almost just sitting outside of the area. So still staying pretty consistent on that this morning. That's the main place that we're going to be watching for the potential of, again, of a few storms trying to rotate. Let's talk about confidence level on our storm threats real quick. They're still consistent. This is just what we had yesterday, but that is some good news that we didn't have to heighten any threats, heighten any confidence levels. Still medium confidence of a brief spin-up tornado, especially in those areas previously mentioned. Still looking at some strong wind gusts. Medium even to low on that, not as overly concerned as we were yesterday with those strong wind gusts coming through, just because that main line really looks to set up a little bit further south of us. Still a medium threat on flash flooding as well. And let's talk about the flooding concern, because I don't want to move past this either. Here's a look at your forecasted rainfall from this system. I think on average, most of us here in North Mississippi are around 1 to 2 inches. But you can see this heavy swath of rain from places like Jackson, Attala County, Starkville, all the way up into Huntsville and Chattanooga. A few of these you can see kind of highlighted in orange, and I'm going to zoom in and show you exactly what that looks like here in North Mississippi. Could get around 3, even plus if you get under consistently one of those heavier pockets. I think that might be overdoing it a little bit, but this is definitely the area we're going to be watching for the potential of some flooding concerns going into your Friday evening, overnight into early Saturday. So I encourage you, if you're headed out early on your Saturday morning or late Friday night, if you have to be, make sure you avoid those roadways you know are easily flooded. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 70s over your next few days. Definitely warm still on Friday. 60s out there for Saturday with about a 30% chance of rain on the front half of the day. Temperatures most likely going to be falling throughout your Saturday. So don't think it's going to be 60 degrees and nice out there. It's actually going to be cooler the further on you get in the day. 40s going to be the story for your Sunday. Starting off on your Monday morning, that's not something to breeze by either, in the 20s. So as you're starting back off to work and school, not tomorrow. I hope you're not going to be going there tomorrow. You're going to go on Friday, but starting back off on a new work week, temperature is going to be in the 20s out there. So definitely going to want your thick coat back, even though you won't need it for the end of this week, for the start of your upcoming work week. So definitely seeing some cooler conditions back into the forecast. That's what we're going to be talking about probably over the weekend after we get over all of these storm threats, right? Then we're going to be focusing on how cooler things are going to be on the back half of this system. Make sure to tune in with us this morning. We're going to be live one more time at 7:30. Thanks as always for tuning in with us. We're going to be live at 7:30. We'll look at if any more counties have been dropped from that dense fog advisory. We'll also look at what we call our triple threat here on Mississippi Live Weather, something you can only get here on Mississippi Live Weather. That looks at the potential for wind, hail, and rotation all at the same time. So we're going to be taking a look at what that's saying coming up at 7:30 as well. So I'll see you guys then.
When choosing a dentist for our family, Tupelo Smiles was the answer for us. They greet us with warm smiles right when we walk in the door, and they make us feel so welcome. We love Tupelo Smiles.
Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.